Drone here. This is Syma X5C-1, and I got this from Zapals. And this is your speed button up here. Most of the other buttons are trimmers or camera function. On this, you do have a flip button as well. And how to turn this on? You turn the toggle on. Make sure it's on a pretty flat, level ground. Gyro needs to be on flat. You turn your controller on. You throttle up and down, and then lightly up, and you are good to go. And again, that is your speed button. We're going to put in the second speed rate. If you look underneath the quad and press this down, you should see the color in your camera change to red. It's normally green. If it doesn't change to red, then you have an issue. You might not have an SD card in it. And if you have no color, your connection probably isn't secure. Push the plug in again. And again, this is from Zapals. They contacted me and like, hey, we see your drone. Would you mind testing a drone for us? And I'm really leery about doing that because I tell it how it is. If they send me a junk drone, I'm going to tell you guys the drone's junk, and it might not like me for that. But they said they wanted me to test the Syma X5C-1. This is X5C-1. Something says upgraded on it. I'm not sure what's upgraded on it. But I'm like, yeah, Syma X5C, you can't go wrong with that. So I signed on for it, and this is theirs. So this is the second one I have. The first one I got, my wife got me for my birthday, I think like a year or two ago, probably pushing a year and a half ago. But these are nice flyers. You guys know I've been flying the Bugs 3, and obviously this doesn't compare to the Bugs 3, but it is a very nice flyer for a toy grade drone, for a brushed toy grade drone. And the camera on it is pretty decent. The camera on it is king in the toy grade X5 clone series. So definitely a drone that you might want to grab if you're looking to learn how to fly. This doesn't have a bunch of assists on it. There is no altitude hold, there is no GPS, there is no return to home. It might actually have a fake return to home where it's going to return back in a base heading, and it probably has headless mode if you're looking for headless mode. But I don't use any of those. I use these for basically a raw flight, for a no assist flight, a fun flight. And I'm showing you it has a little bit of speed. It's not a speed demon though. You're not going to break any type of speed records. Again, it's a small brush drone, and it's a very nice brush drone. It gets decent range. I think, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think I had this up with an altimeter on it about 400 and change. About 400 and change, 500 and change feet up in altitude. So it goes high enough. It definitely goes high enough. And again, just kind of showing you the flyability of this. It's a really nice drone, really smooth flying drone. I am dealing with a little bit of wind. I have like a 7 to 8 mile an hour wind. That was a hand catch, and what I'm doing here is I'm looking inside that camera and seeing that my camera is switching. Why am I seeing my camera switching? Well, when I'm recording, I like to periodically, and that was a horrible takeoff on my part, I like to periodically reset the camera just in case something goes wrong, or voltage goes down and it just erases my footage, a whole flight's footage. I don't want that to happen. So periodically I check the camera, I check the LED on it, and I reset it. And I will have footage from this in another video. It was very windy, so I did get a little bit of jello, but the clarity on it is great. The clarity from this camera is great. You can pull stills off of it all day long. And it's flying here, zero issues in this wind. It's a really nice drone. And again, from Zapals. They're not from China. They're a newer company to me, and I figured I'd check them out. The price on this, the link's at the bottom. The price on this isn't bad either. It's about average as what you would get on Amazon or eBay. Obviously you could find it cheaper, probably from China on eBay, but you're probably going to get it on a slow boat, and you're going to wait anywhere from 3 weeks to possibly 6 to 7 weeks, if not longer. If Customs grabs a hold of it and wants to have a look at it, it'll get put in their bin, and it'll sit and sit and sit. I've had that happen a couple times from a Chinese provider. Although I have gotten stuff from China a little quick sometimes, but generally it's that slow boat where it takes forever. These guys say they provide excellent customer service, I've been talking back and forth with them, and they're pretty responsive. So and if I have any issues with this, you guys know I'll definitely get on them for it. But these drones right here, they're the mark. If you're learning to fly, if you think you're gonna crash, I think I might have crashed mine a handful of times. I've flown this, not this per se, but the X5C that I have. I've flown it in freezing weather. I've flown it in extreme heat. I've flown it in wind. These X5Cs are good drones. When you hear the term X5 clone, they're referring off of this. They're referring to every other company that's taken this drone, repainted it, and renamed it. And I mean, some of them, they do put better boards in it where it's getting a lot better range. But all in all, it's this drone, and there you can see a little bit of range climb for you. And the one thing this has on all the other X5 clones is the camera. The camera on this is superb compared to all the other X5 clones. You have your Quadrone Pro Cam, which the Pro Cam is the worst camera that I've ever seen in my life. But you throw this on it, dope. Pro Cam and the Quadrone name, you're gonna pay high retail for it. That's United States. Syma is coming out of manufacturer overseas, and they keep their name, they hold their name, and because Syma is well known, they're able to offer these drones a lot lower than United States X5 clones. Because you figure when they get these in, if they're changing the board, that costs a little bit of money. If they got to repaint these, that costs a little bit of money. If they got to pop them out of the box, or say they got it crated, say they bought a bunch of these, say they bought like 200 of them, they were crated, now they need to put them in boxes, and they need to rebrand it, and you need to make the boxes. Syma. Try to say that again. Syma is Syma. So you're not getting a high markup on this, and it's a really good looking drone too. Unless you're flying directly above cloud cover, this is a good drone to fly in blue skies. As you can see, there's a little bit of a look at some funnels. Not really fast, not really crazy, but again, this makes for a good flyer. Guys, we are past the 7-minute mark on this flight. This drone generally gets above average flights, so that's something to keep in mind. You can also get batteries for this. You get batteries for this just about anywhere. When I first started flying, I was flying the Striker, which was an X5 clone, and that was my next thing to do. My next thing to do was get tons of batteries, and I did, and now I have tons of batteries. This comes stock, I believe, with a 600 mAh battery. 500 will fit in it fine. You can also squeeze up to like a 750 in it fine, and I think I might have had an 850 in this as well. So you can play with mAh, and it handles it well, and it has enough power to pick it up. But understand, when you're increasing flight time, you are going past the manufacturer specs, and there are plastic gears in here. So I would suggest just getting the stock battery. Just getting the stock battery in this if you want extra ones. That way you're not prolonging flight time, although it's fun, but it's a lot of wear and tear. And if you're increasing MAH, you're, again, wear and tear on motors because it's lifting a heavier payload than it normally would. Really nice flyer here though. I'm not sure that I've done too much with the X5C that I own. You guys have seen it in the case that I have, but this was really good for the channel here, because a lot of you guys are flying this. A lot of you guys started out with this. A lot of you guys are looking to get into flying drones, and this would be a good flyer. Guys, we are pushing the 9-minute mark here. 9 minutes, and this thing is still going strong. I'm assuming right around that 10-minute mark it's going to come down. So guys, if you're on YouTube, obviously you're watching me, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, check out Drone Days. The link will be at the bottom. And Zapals, again, that's the people who sent me this. That link will be at the bottom too. And there's a look at some funnels here. And again, guys, I'm J Drone. Fly safe as possible. Push the limits a little. And again, if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor. Push that subscribe button. Click and add that subscribe tally up. Again, take care, guys, and fly safe.